All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Thursday, November 11th, 2021. This morning, we're going to talk about how you can do more than you think. You know, we are all capable of so much more than what we're doing in this current season of our lives. How do we do it? How do we grow into what we're capable of doing? And how do we do that with some level of control and some level of balance without it getting crazy, without it getting out of control? And, I can give you guys these tips because over the past handful of years, I've been able to do this myself. I currently juggle far more than I thought I was capable of at one point in my life. And so that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Let's get started. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right, folks, what's happening? Happy Thursday, man. It's 11/11. I guess we're supposed to make a wish or do something like that on a day like today. It's November 11th, and man, it's an awesome day to be alive, man. I woke up this morning, brisk outside this morning here in Pittsburgh, and man, just grateful to be here with you guys. And this morning's topic, I did an online speaking engagement last night, and I was asked some questions about time management. And it really sparked me to think about this particular topic that we're going to talk about this morning. And that is that you can do more than you think you can. There was a point in my life where, I thought things were tapped out, man. I thought, man, I'm working extremely hard. I've got a really busy schedule compared to most people. I am absolutely crushing it, right? I'm absolutely just working harder than anybody that I know. I can't possibly do more. Anybody else out there tell themselves that story? And so as I started to get around different people, I started to really examine people's schedules. I started to see, people getting up earlier than me. And I said, man, that's a place where I could probably gain some steam, right? I could probably gain a little bit more. I could do a little bit more if I could just figure out how to wake up a little bit earlier. And then I saw people, challenging how many things they could do or just the length of time that they would spend something, time blocking, different time management techniques. And I thought to myself, like, maybe there is far more here than what I think. Just because I'm working harder than most of the people that I know doesn't mean that I'm necessarily capped off. So I changed my thinking around that, right? I changed the way that I started thinking about time, and I started thinking, how can I duplicate or stretch time, right? How can I take the same amount of time as somebody else has, that same 24 hours, but I can make it so much more productive. And so I'm going to go through some of the things that I implemented into my life this morning here with you guys. That'll be great tips for you that'll help you hopefully multiply the productivity and results in your own life over a period of time. But first, as always, I want to say good morning to some folks. Gary, what's happening, man? Ed, good morning. Scott, Daniel, good. Curtis, my man, Dr. Finn, my chiropractor's on here. That guy keeps me upright, and having lunch with that guy today. Can't wait, brother. See you soon. Keith Smith, what's happening, brother? Good morning to you. Christina Berry, so good to see you as always. Ryan Austin, Trisha, David Martin, Ryan Caddy, Rick Henning, and Steve Flaherty, the guy that somehow had the crazy idea of letting me teach a college course, is right here on this stream with you guys. So give a shout out to Steve Flaherty for giving me that opportunity. I appreciate you, brother, and I can't wait to share with your students next Wednesday. So, all right, so how do you think you can do more? So what does it take to do more? How do you look at your own life? Like, do you actually evaluate it? And so the question that I have for you is, what do the last 30 days look like for you? So if I was to look at your life and I was to go back through the last 30 days, what does your discipline look like? How many promises did you keep to yourself? How is your productivity? Are you waking up at the same time? Do you have some consistency? What does your diet look like? If that's a factor for you. What do all the different things in your life, those key elements that create success for you, what do they look like over the last 30 days? Just take that snapshot. Now rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. What does your discipline look like over the last 30 days? I don't need you to answer. That's just for you to know. What does your discipline look like over the last 30 days? Now, I want you to imagine, I know most of the people that are on this stream, and you guys are all doing okay in life, right? So imagine whether you're a high performer, whether you feel like you're above average, you're doing pretty well, you're doing better than most. Now, I want you to imagine if that was at a level 10. Now, it's hard to achieve a level 10. But we should always be in pursuit of achieving that level 10, that 10 out of 10 when it comes to discipline. When you look yourself in the mirror, if you could say that you are a 10 out of 10 in life, man, that's a pretty impressive achievement. And just because you achieve it today does not mean that it'll be there tomorrow. It takes work. It takes consistency and focus and discipline to be able to stay there. To be able to weave that into your life in a way that sticks, that becomes a way of life, not just a trend. That diet that we all try, how do we implement that into something permanent? It takes effort. It takes focus. It takes us really being disciplined and figuring out how to implement that one more thing into our lives, right? And so when I say you could do more than you think, I always use this analogy, learning how to juggle. You don't go from, trying to figure out how to juggle to juggling 6 balls at one time. You learn by adding 1 ball at a time. Just 1 ball at a time. You go from 2 to 3. You learn how to juggle 3 really well. You can add a 4th. But you have to push yourself to learn how to do that. You have to be willing to drop those balls. You have to be willing to fail in order to learn how to get from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and to 6. It's not going to go smooth, guys. You're going to fall down. And to be capable of doing more than what you're capable of doing right now, you have to expect that failure, and you have to be mentally prepared for what that failure looks like. Because when you're mentally prepared for the failure, that failure will not get you. It will not send you sideways. It will not make you quit. It will not make you think, I'm not good enough. It's expected. Perfection is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You have to be willing to fail. When we started the Pavement Group 3.5 years ago, that was a lot, man. It was a lot to be able to manage this company, to be able to lead this company, and to be able to do the things necessary to create success within this company. Then I have Top Contractor School. Then eventually I added in another company and Lead Revenue. So how do I juggle it all? I get that question a lot. Well, it takes breaking the system. It takes falling down. It takes disappointing people to be able to push forward. Disappointing people because sometimes things don't get done. But if you're not willing to push yourself to a limit beyond what you're comfortable with right now, and you're not willing to fail, and you're not willing to take responsibility for it when you do fail, then you will be only capable of doing exactly what you're able to do right now. You got to be brave enough to fail to be able to grow. It's no different than going to the gym. Those guys that you see walking around the gym that are all jacked, man, they didn't get there from not pursuing muscle failure. And so the same is true in your life. You just have to look at it and figure out how to redirect yourself. How do you get more? Because let me tell you something, guys. Being the same as you were yesterday, what a disappointment. I'm 42 years old. When I get to 43 years old, man, if I'm the same guy that I was when I was 42, what a waste of time. What a waste of the talents that God gave me. You can do more than you think. You just have to be brave enough to step into it. You got to stop making excuses. You got to get surrounded by people that are willing to tell you the truth. Mentorship is one of the most important things that we can have in our lives. Those people who are willing to tell us the hard things. Those are your true friends, man. Those people that try to make you comfortable, that tell you how great you are all the time and never tell you that anything's wrong, those aren't your friends, man. Those are not your friends. Those are either fans or enemies. Because those people aren't going to help you, man. Those people are not going to help you grow. They're not going to push you in the direction of your dreams. They probably don't even ask you what they are. So I want you to think about that. And that doesn't mean those people are evil. They're unaware. They're unaware of what they're doing because the entire world, guys, is pursuing comfort. And as my buddy Glenn Lundy says, the moment that you are most comfortable in this life is that moment right before you take your last breath. So if you are living a life of comfort, be careful, man, because it's a slippery slope. I do not pursue comfort. I pursue discomfort and growth. And I do the hard things. When I have an option of which way to go, hard or easy, I choose hard every time. Because I believe when you do the hard things, life gets easy. And when you do the easy things, life gets more difficult. So every single time, man, when I'm presented with a fork in the road and I know for sure which path is more difficult, that is always the way to go. And every time I've chosen the other path, it's led me to a terrible situation. It's led me to more difficulty. It just wasn't difficulty right in that moment. And so if you want delayed difficulty, take the easy route. If you'd rather just get through it and do the hard stuff that propels you forward, choose the hard way every single time. I agree, Steve. I'm comfortable being uncomfortable too, brother. It is growth. It is progress. It's what makes you feel alive. When there's no resistance against your life, man, that's not living. That's not showing anybody, setting an example for anybody. If you look up my LinkedIn profile, it says role model to 4 beautiful children. I'll tell you what I want my children to see is that their dad went after it. He did the hard things. He set the example and he wasn't afraid of anything. I will never be known as the guy that didn't try. That's for sure. And so that's the example that I want to set for my kids, for everybody else in the world. Do the hard things, man. Set the example and show people what's possible when you find a way to do more than you think you could. And so I challenge you guys this morning to think about that. What is it that you're not doing that you could be doing? You can do more than you think. For some people, that might be the physical. For some people, it might be the mental. You might have to take away from the physical to do more thinking. As I say all the time, sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. But man, when you slow down and you execute properly, you build a tidal wave. You build a tsunami of activity that eventually crashes. And you can reap the harvest of that. Telling you guys, you can do way more than you think. I want you to ask yourself, how many days, how many hours in the day, how many days in the week would you grade yourself as effective? Would you grade yourself an 8, 9, or 10 in discipline? How many days can you check the box and say, today I won? I left it all on the field. I did the things I was supposed to do. Not how physically hard you worked, but how massive the results you know are going to come from that day. May not be that day, but did you do the things necessary to create success? You can do more than you think. Look at your calendar. Look at your schedule every day. Do you have things planned out? Do you have a plan for what you're going to do? If you don't have a plan for what you're going to do, you're not doing more than you can. I promise you that. If you look at your schedule and it's pretty much packed every single day, man, you're probably heading in the right direction. Because as you do things, you'll figure out what's right and what's wrong, what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. When you put out that effort, you're going to realize what's a waste of time. But until you put out the effort, you have no idea. Until you try, you can't say that you failed. And you can't say that you're too busy. So if you're one of those people, I'm talking to you. Stop telling yourself that story. Change the story and you change your life. Change the story you tell yourself. You can do more than you think. I'm telling you, there's two different ways to do that. Sometimes it's by using your brain more. Sometimes it's by using your body more and getting more shit done. You know what the answer to that question is. But I promise you this, you can do more. You should do more. God intended you to do more. You're supposed to have an incredible life. Not average, not above average, not safe, incredible. And whatever that is that makes you feel alive, go chase it, man. Go chase it. You can do more than you think. Whatever that is, don't sit on it, man. Don't let those dreams die inside of you. Go chase it. If you're already working in your dream, make your dream bigger. Serve more people. Impact more people. Find a way to connect with the world. The world will charge you. You guys charge me. Every single day, man, I sit here and read these comments and I think to myself, we're making a difference, man. All of you that show up here, all of you that share this show out, that introduce people to this show, people need to hear this, man. For those of us who hang out here every day, those of us who are, inside of great companies that have incredible people that are part of them, we think this is what everybody has. It's not what everybody has, man. People don't have access to people that encourage them. There's a reason why people feel like they can't, because they don't know how. Our job is to get messages like this out to the world so that more people can believe they can. They can get the tools and the information and the connections to people that can help them see that they can do more than they think. I appreciate you guys being on this mission with me. And I appreciate all of you for your comments, your texts, your DMs, your emails, the time that we spend together. Those of you that show up at the events that I do, I appreciate it more than you know, man. The world needs us, guys. I mean that. The world needs us. They need people that believe in their dreams, that believe in what's possible, not what's impossible. And this group is it, man. This group is a massive force for good. Group of people that are connected to this are making a difference in their communities, in the people that they interact with. That one person, man, that you could impact today, you have no idea the ripple effect of what happens when you do that. You guys make a difference with me. I appreciate you for being here. And I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.